In this video, I'm gonna tell you a little bit of how I started my detailing business back in 2011, the process or progress that I made over the next 5 years, what I would change if I could go back in time, and how this can affect you, or what advice I would give to you if you're starting and growing your detailing business. This video is a little all over the place, but just, stay with me here, listen to what I have to say, and hopefully it resonates with you in some way. Let's get started. Now let's rewind all the way back to 2011. That's when it's kind of a rough time frame, but that's when I graduated high school. I was 17 at the time, and I went to community college right afterwards. I had, I think it was 2 semesters, and I dropped out. And I remember vividly, I was walking out of the cafeteria on the way to my history class, and as I was walking to there, I just remember walking, I had my backpack on, I had my books in my hand, and I specifically said to myself, there has to be another way to be successful. And from right there, I literally turned around, got in my car, and then I never went back to school. And at the time, it's not like I had anything planned. I didn't know anything about business or marketing or anything. I was just some dumb little naive kid that was like, I don't want to do school. There has to be another way to be successful. And I always knew I wanted to have my own business. And at the time, I guess you could say I had a business, but again, it was basically nothing. Once I dropped out, I did try to run my detailing business for a while, but that didn't really work out because I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't really have customers. I really wasn't making any money. So I did kind of flip-flop between jobs for a while. And I remember specifically a very pivotal moment in going into marketing and business and advertising and all that was when I specifically went on Google and I typed in, do you need a marketing degree, or do you need to go to school to be a marketer? I remember I specifically Googled that. I think that was back in 2013. And I came across a blog post that mentioned these other great marketers and business owners and entrepreneurs that didn't necessarily go to school for marketing, but are now running a 6-figure, 7-figure e-commerce, SaaS, or some type of business. And from that moment on, that's when I started to learn and pivot my way towards the marketing and business side of things. Now, this was very early on, right? I didn't know anything about anything when it came to business or marketing or advertising or sales or anything. So I want to say the first year or so that I was learning, it was the most basic of basic things. I didn't have money to do anything. I was just trying to consume as much information. And little by little, I started to learn more. I started to implement a few more things, and based on the information that I was consuming, it kind of deviated me to different paths. I worked at a marketing agency, and this kind of a bit out of order, but I worked at 2 marketing agencies. I was the director of marketing for a 4-office dental practice that was making around $6 million per year. I pitched myself to clients to go and do their SEO and their Google ads. I worked at a kind of a boutique fitness facility and did their marketing and their sales. So from that point, after reading that blog post and learning about Noah Kagan, Ramit Sethi, Neil Patel, and a bunch of other marketers that are running SaaS and e-commerce businesses, I was like, oh dang, so you can just learn everything on your own. And from that day moving forward, everything, not self-taught, because obviously I watch YouTube videos, I read blog posts, I bought books, I listened to podcasts. When I would hire a coach. And from there on, I kept on trying to learn as much as I can. And it wasn't until 2014, 2015 where I locked down on my detailing business and I said, I'm gonna focus on search engine optimization. And again, I would have to dig through so many emails and paperwork to actually put the timeline of how everything unfolded. But I remember reading the book, The One Thing by Gary Keller. And after that's probably one of my top 3 pivotal books that kind of changed my life. And I remember I read that book and I was like, okay, I have to figure out my one thing. So my one thing for the detailing business was search engine optimization. And I stopped doing Instagram. I stopped doing ads. The only thing I focused on was SEO. And over the next 9 months, I ranked my website on the first page of Google. And from there, the calls, the leads, the emails, the traffic, everything just started going straight up. And since 2015-ish, till 2022 now, we're still benefiting off of SEO. That's still the number one driver for our business growth, which is why we're still able, to surpass $10,000 per month. Like, it's because of search engine optimization. And for one, right, like a reason why I started Detail Groove is when I actually started to get customers and calls and started to make money and my schedule starting to get booked out, I feel pretty dumb and embarrassed and just kind of like stupid, because here I was struggling for like 3-4 years trying to get my business off the ground. And once I focused in on this one thing, which the one thing for me was SEO, everything changed, right? And when I realized that, oh, this, like, what you have to focus on is marketing, I was like, man, I could have been done this since 2011 and, my life would be completely different, right? Which is why I always, highly push on everyone to say, like, if you want to grow your business, if you want to make money, that's going to come by being a marketer, a business owner, right? A detailer will only take you so far. So when that happened, I was like, man, how much time did I just waste doing all this? Like, I just struggled for 3 years. And then once I honed in on SEO and I just focused on that one thing, where everything kind of changed for me. But at that time, I still had a job at that time. I believe I think I was the marketing salesperson for a business law firm at that time. So what I would do is, I really liked that job as well, because I was doing SEO, I was doing sales and all that. And I would book all the customers either in the morning or in the evening around my work schedule. So if I got off at, let's say, 1 p.m., I would schedule the customer at 1:30 or 2. Or when I worked at the carpet cleaning company, I would schedule the customers on my off days or on just any slots that I had available that I could go and service the customer. And a lot of times I would work from, let's say, 7 a.m. to 12 p.m. detailing cars. I would go and clock into my first part-time job from like 1 p.m. or 1:30 to 5 to 5:30, and then I would clock into my full-time job, which is a carpet cleaning company, from 5:30 to maybe 12 a.m., 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. because we worked in commercial buildings, so all the work happened after everyone left the buildings. And again, that timeline's all kind of all over the place, but I'm telling you this because it's not a straight line of growing a business, right? And every business, every person will have a different story, will have a different path, will have different obstacles, right? What I went through does not mean in any way you'll have to go through that, right? It does not mean it'll take you that long as it did me, or you'll go through those same problems or obstacles. Like, every person will be on their own path, right? With the knowledge that they have, with the grit that they can handle, with the resources that they have, with the time or money or anything like that. Every person will be on their own path, but it's not gonna be a pretty straight line. It's gonna be a lot of ups and downs, and based on what you want to accomplish and what your goals are and just how you want your life to be will highly dictate the level of action that you take and the amount of stress and problems you're willing to take on. There is one thing I would really like to go back to and change, which there's like a lot of things, but I think one thing, if I could go back and change something, would be the goals that I set and then the level of action that I took. Because what you accomplish in your business, or what you want to accomplish and in what timeline, to what degree, is just based on your mentality of what you think you can achieve, right? And knowing what you want out of your business is like a key factor in knowing how to build it, or how to set, or how to grow it, or how to do this, how to do that. Like, knowing the type of lifestyle that you want with your business will highly dictate how you run it and how you do things. So for me, right, because every person is gonna be different, right? You can't compare yourself to anyone else because it's irrelevant. It does you no good, right? Your goals in your business, it's your problems, your business, your life. Like, it is your thing. So just because, it's cool and sexy to say, oh man, yeah, I want to keep on growing this business. I want to keep on pushing. Oh, I want to keep on expanding. I want another mobile van. I want another shop. I want an employee. I want to make $10,000. I want to make $20,000. I want to make $30,000 per month. It sounds great. It sounds cool. It sounds sexy to say. It's cool to say when you're at a party and you're saying, yeah, we're making $25,000 a month, right? This business that you started from the ground up. it's one thing to say that, but then once it actually gets to the weeds, once it's time to handle all those problems, once it's time to have those sleepless nights, once it's time to work just hours upon hours, 16-hour days, 18-hour days, and then go back home to go do some admin work, and then problems here and problems there, and then it costs this to run that, and you need this much money. It's a different story once you're actually in the trenches and you're out there working and busting your ass, and you don't really have a life, and most of your time you've just been trying to build this business. It's been like a long journey, right? It's just day by day. It's just a small incremental progress to get you to where you want to be. So to you, right, if you're thinking like, man, well, I'm broke right now, or I'm not happy at the place that I'm at, and I kind of want to do this, but then this money's good over here, or like it makes me uncomfortable to go do this, or I'm scared to do that. It's like, it's okay to be scared, or to get out of your comfort zone, or to not know what you're doing. Like, that's a part of the process, right? Like, what did I know back in 2011 to start a business, or to start marketing, or to start? It's like nothing. I knew nothing. But day by day, as you grow, as you learn, as you implement, you get a better, understanding of what you're supposed to do. And to those that it's very easy to limit yourself with what you think you can achieve. You might think, oh no, I can't do that. That's something that someone else would do. That's something that Oscar can do. That's something that that he can do because he's on YouTube. And it's not. Like, what you see me here on YouTube, and if you talk to me in person, it's a pretty big difference, because I'm just another guy that decided to pick up a camera and just document what he's doing, right? There is nothing inherently special or unique about any decision that I've done, other than the money I get, I just put back into the brands. That's it. I don't keep anything. I don't have a fancy car. I don't have a fancy house. I don't like nothing. It's just, I get the money, I throw it back into the business. That's it. Like, that's literally the most basic rule of what I've done over the last 5 years. It's just, you get the money, put it back in the business. You get the money, put it back in the business, right? Like, which is why people are like, whoa, you have a shop in the gym, and you have cameras and his laptop and this team. It's like, yeah, because that's my main driver. Like, that's what excites me, Some people like to comment of like, oh man, like, it looks like you're working too hard. Man, go get some sleep. And it's like, dude, like, once you truly realize that you can create whatever life you want, whatever life, meaning it doesn't have to be some grand slam of like, I have a $10 million per year business. It could just be, hey, I work 4 days out of the week. I work 3 days out of the week and still make $9,000 per month. It's like, hey, I'm home every day, every weekend. Like, if that's the life you want, you can create that life. You gotta put in the work for it. You gotta create the plan for it. You have to execute on that plan. But like, to me, like, when it comes to working, and when it comes to like, kind of overstretching my hand and things that I'm doing, it's like, I'm at this point, it's like, I have the privilege to just work on my own thing, right? I've got us or myself to this point where it's like, I'm working on my own brand. Like, I don't have a job. If I want to make more money, it's based on the level of effort that I put. If I want my team to make more money, that's on the plan that I set us on to go and execute on that for us to all make more money. If I want to go and get a new shop and to be able to have new cameras and new sets and new this and new that, like, that's on that's 100% on me. And so it's like, I'm super excited and passionate and like just fueled to keep on working and to keep on pushing, because like, this is my life. Like, this is, like, I know I have so much more potential to reach, and it's like, every day I want to go towards it's not work to me. I mean, don't get me wrong, it is work. There's times where I'm very restless, I'm sleepy, I'm tired, my eyes hurt, I'm hungry, I'm annoyed, I'm frustrated, I'm like, all these things, yes, but it's like, I never for a second say I'm gonna give up, or never for a second do I think this is not worth it. It's like, I'm gonna keep on pushing forward, because like, I know where I want to be, right? I'm gonna end the video right here because I have no idea what this title is gonna be or what the main premise of this video was. But thank you very much. Leave a comment down below if anything resonated with you, and I'll talk to everyone on the next one. Bye bye.